Okay, so I am about to start the process to mat this full body silicone kit. I am going to experiment with something called dry matting. And dry matting means that the silicone is not going to be applied wet. It has already started to cure. So it's still tacky and sticky. I guess that's how it's going to work. So we have a fully painted little boy here. And he is basically cured, but you can still see that he's sticky. I'm going to take him outside to start the matting process. And all right. I'm a little nervous. I've never matted. I've always mixed silicone A and silicone B and then applied it on and then tried to get rid of the majority of it. But this time we're just going to experiment and see if the process can be made a little bit easier. All right, join me outside. Okay, so now we're back and this is my setup. I just use one of these bins. I like to have a plate because when I'm pouring the excess silicone, I want to recycle it, and I'm going to continue to reuse it. Also, I'm going to be wearing a mask because it does get airborne and it does get into your lungs. It's like a fine dust. It's not even just like a fine dust. It's just like a mist. Almost like a mist, except for a mist is wet. But it's like a cloud. That's what it's like. And it gets into the air and it settles after a time. You can like walk into the room and see a cloud of fine particles. I just don't want that in my lungs. Also, I'm keeping my arms covered. So this is just an old jacket that I can just toss in the washing machine. I'm wearing an apron. And I will be putting on my face mask. It's not like a really good one. It's just like a doctor's face mask. And I have my hair covered because I have learned from experience that all of this stuff is necessary to keep the silicone off of you. Like even in the instructions, they will tell you to wash your arms, you know. So I use this method this is just a cup. And I will take some silicone powder. This is SFP, so that's silicone finishing powder. When you are getting a matting powder, make sure that your matting powder has the word silicone in there, because there is vinyl matting powder, which will destroy your kit if you don't use it right. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our little naked baby. Again, this naked baby is cured already. And when I say cured, we're going to start face down. But when I say cured, I'm basically saying that his paint can be handled. The silicone paint can be handled. All right, the brush that I'm going to be using is a fluffy brush, and I've used it so much when I got extra, but let me see if I can wipe some of this off so I can read it. It's number 16 round brush. I just got it off of Amazon. And then basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to let's start at the top. And let's make this slow and methodical. We're just going to rub that silicone into that vinyl and remove that sticky layer. All right, little boy, we just gonna sit that there like you're a shelf and just kind of roll it. Y'all, this is an experiment. I've never done this before, so I'm just hoping that this will work right. But so far, so good. It's silky. It's not sticky. It's silky. All right, now let's kind of move down and just kind of shake a light dusting. I was talking to my sister. Sorry if y'all can hear the cars. Oop, I forgot to put my mask on. I just had it lowered. But yeah, I was talking to my sister, Sunflower Baby Angels, and I was telling her that I was going to do this. And I said, well, this baby has fair skin, so I don't know how well this experiment will be on a fair skinned baby. Oh, look at that. I see a little something. I should have probably brought the tweezers out because I never think about tweezers when I'm doing this. Matting is when I say this is what I mean. Wow. Yeah, I tell you one thing that I've noticed so far, I'm saving a whole lot of matting powder because it's not sticking to the excess powder or to the excess silicone. Sorry. But I'm liking this. Okay, so yeah, what I was saying is that because this is a fair skinned baby, you know, matting powder leaves a very white residue that needs to be washed off. So we don't know if we're going to see that residue on this baby. Let's get a little bit more here. I think it's about time. About time to turn it. Let's make sure we get the feet. That's my next door neighbor's dog. I ain't gonna lie. When he barked like that, it scared me. I'm like, who's up there? Who's back there? All right, let's do this side. All right. Now, what I am going to do before I turn the baby, I'm going to brush all the excess off. Now, see that? I don't know if you can see the silicone in the air floating around, but that would have been in your house. It's not windy out here, but we don't want that in our house. Okay, I got this little thing here, so I'm just gonna bring him onto that while I collect. Oops, sorry, little man. He grabbed a plate. Now I'm just going to gather up the silicone. Just makes it a little bit easier. Sorry, this paper is in your way in the camera frame. Okay. Then I'll later, when I'm done with the entire process, I'll come back and I'll pour off what's at the bottom here. All right, so now, what we do is we put that back in the cup. And we're going to turn him around now. Oh, he's got a little bit of powder on him. On his front. All right. I'm just gonna put that there for modesty purposes. Hopefully it'll stay. It is a little bit windy. I don't want it to blow away. Okay, so that looks like it's doing pretty good. Let's start at his face. I think that he has the cutest face ever. This is Phoenix by Bonnie Sieben. If you want more information about the availability of this doll, please check in the description box, where I will have more information when he's available. Okay. And off camera, I already did his little privates. So now just make sure we got in here. And I do want to get some in his, ooh, y'all, I forgot myself. Did y'all see what I just did? I just poured a whole bunch of silicone powder. Well, I can tell you one thing. If after I do the rinse, and this is, this works good, I will have saved a whole lot. Okay, now let's just double check that we got all of the digits. And we gotta make sure we get all of that off his little face. Yeah, this one will go into my shop. Let's make sure his little toes are done. Brush off the excess. When you leave a whole bunch caked on, that's where you're gonna see a lot of issues with the matting. At least I do. And again, I've only been doing silicone dolls for exactly 1 year. I started in January, and I am in no way an expert at this. So, all right, so we're gonna lift him up. Let me shake out this little palette, and then we're going to take a closer look. Let's see how everything looks. I really have to say that thus far, I feel very pleased at what I'm seeing. Just want to make sure I knock off all of the excess. And I'm going to turn them around, do the back, get rid of all of that excess. Okay, Phoenix is ready for his bath. This actually wasn't so painful. Sometimes doing this is so painful, but yeah, let's reserve judgment until after, because I can see some potential hazards. But I will reserve judgment.
Wonder who you think you're playing with. I'm just telling myself to keep playing this.
What I like to do is to rinse as much of the powder off the baby before I put it in the water, because I don't want the water to be filled with a lot of matting powder. So I get inside the mouth, and then I use either a baby washcloth or a very soft sponge, and then I'm just very gently trying to make sure that there's no clumps and no matting powder stuck on. If I notice that there's matting powder stuck on, then I'll let it soak for a while.
It's not a home where no one's there. So alone, no one's there. Should I move on since no one's here? You know what you got is good, that's why you refuse to let me walk out the light. You refuse to match up with my vibe. You keep wasting my time, you keep wasting my time.
I better find your loving, I better find your heart. I better find your loving, I better find your heart. I better find your loving, I better find your heart. I better find, give all my love.
Okay, he has just came out the bath. I put on a little diaper. It's a little cloth diaper. So now let's see if he is no longer sticky. So far, I don't feel any stickiness at all. It feels very realistic, and he looks realistic. The skin did not take on too much of a white cast, like a white film. But again, we're talking about a fair-skinned baby. So with our fair-skinned babies, it may be hard to see if there's any matting powder stuck on, or if it has left a bad residue. So I think that I'm going to call dry matting a success. I'm going to add this little bit to the voiceover. You may be seeing a little bit of a sheen, and you'll see it even more at the end. That sheen feels very realistic to me, like skin. Whereas a lot of times when I'll do the wet mat, the baby feels dry. It looks dry. And there's absolutely, it's silky, it's satiny, it feels good, it looks good, it's pretty, but it's dry. This one feels more realistic and more skin-like. A lot of times I will even have customers say, can I put lotion on the baby? And I will say, absolutely not. Do not put lotion on a silicone doll. This will make you feel like you don't need to put lotion on it because it looks very natural. But it's up to you. It doesn't feel sticky, but you can still see that shimmer. All right, guys. Oh, he's really cute. Isn't he cute? So I'm going to start to root him, and he's going to be a little ginger baby. That's the color we're rooting him with. All right, thanks for joining me. See you later.
Find your loving, I better find your heart. I better find your loving, I better find your heart. I better find your loving.